In or out, it's your call.
There's no ref here.
That's on us.
Decisions like these are about trust.
That's spirit, not a slogan.
But to be fair,
Even when the game is on the line.
It's not easy.
sometimes it gets intense.
Because spirit keeps the game bigger than the point.
bigger than the call, bigger than me,
It's how I know I can go all out.
And trust my opponent will too.
It's not just rules, it's respect.
because when you respect the call,
You respect the player.
It's every decision you make.
Every conversation, every point.
It's the reason I compete at my best.
And when I have to make the call,
In or out,
I'll call it honestly.
Because spirit is the standard.
And we don't play below it.
and we're on for finals coverage here at the Canadian Ultimate Championships 2026 Junior Edition Open Final. Dyno defeating Origine from Quebec City with an absolute snag in the end zone, break to win by number 7 Levi Mullen to bring Dyno here against Ottawa's Ignite, who have had a great record so far. I'm not sure if these two teams have crossed over yet. That's the intel I didn't have, but they've played each other plenty of times. They have not crossed over yet, getting some help from our volunteers. Thank you. But they do have a little bit of a storied record we'll get to. I'm Clayton Hallett. This is Brianne Wager, and we're here to bring you this coverage here at the Newton Athletic Park. Beautiful day here on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples. Very privileged to be here doing this best job in the world. We're getting started in 2 minutes. Wage, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, man. Just the athleticism from both teams. We saw some of that in the semifinal from Dyno, and I have no doubt that Ignite will bring a bunch of athleticism to the game as well. You can see there's a lot of height on that team, hey?
A lot of height. We were looking at their warm-up, and we're like, whoa, giants.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, a little bit of height on the Ignite side. Lots of quick feet on the Dyno side, so that'll make for, I think, a really good matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, and that has kind of been the story with West Coast teams versus Ontario teams. Just a different kind of player often playing in these games where you've got lots of quickness from Vancouver and lots of height from, you know, Central and Eastern Canada, and we'll see how that matches up. But so far, actually, the advantage has gone to Dyno because we learned before the game. So this is neat.
Okay.
And we're going to start this now, and we're going to ride it the whole game.
All right.
The head coaches of both teams have a little bit of a rivalry. We've got Alex Lamb coaching Dyno, Habib Atala coaching Ignite. They just came off sharing a gold medal at U20s with Team Canada Open. both assistant coaches for the Open team. So congratulations, they celebrate together, they're psyched. But when it comes to their clubs in juniors, Alex, coaching Dyno, is currently 5-0 over Coach Atala. So I didn't even bring it up. They told me immediately that was the stat.
Yeah.
So, you know, a little bit of a history here between these two teams.
It's a very fun spirited rivalry between the coaches.
And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The win catches this pole, and it's caught by Ignite in the back of the end zone. Dyno in black starting on D. Almost a miscue there, but reeled in by Ignite. Moore looking for options. Has an open cut to 31. That's Spencer Burwell. He has an open side throw to Rycroft. Rycroft looking for the reset. A little bit of a jump cut from Moore. He gets open. Doesn't like the around. Stokes laying out. Didn't make it. So Chandler Nantel with the slash got another big bid. That was from Jaleb, but no dice. Ignite maintaining possession. Up the line work here from Ignite. Mache goes up the line. Lots of bids from Dyno here, but nothing connecting. But they get right back up on D to ensure they're not leaving their check alone. Deep dump to Chase Alexander from, yes, the Alexander Ultimate family. Both parents coaching respective Ottawa teams. That pass out to space. Too high for all. That isn't reeled in by Ignite on the last effort by Mache. So Dyno has an opportunity here. They're going to huck immediately as no one is on Jalith. And not quite in. Tried to jump it in. Really good presence there. Just couldn't get far enough. And number 7, the hero from the previous game, Levi Mullen, is able to run it in. Dyno starts the game off with a break.
Bit unfortunate there. Ignite did a really good job working it all the way down the field, even with a lot of pressure from Dyno. Like you said, bodies were flying. They were trying to get a layout D, unsuccessful, and they were right there. But it is windy. That's just popping up and not able to save it. And yeah, one big throw from Dyno to send it the opposite way.
I believe it was Brendan Chow who picked that up, ran it to the line, and you saw him lift his head up, and you saw the reaction. He said, "Oh, I've got an open receiver, no one's on." So he sprinted up to the front of the end zone and then just unleashed.
Yeah, great recognition on his part there.
The weather will be a thing, and it just was. The wind is blowing from the top left of your screen, kind of across into our faces here in the middle of the field. And that pass was an OI flick that caused on the turnover, right? So the wind immediately got in on the underside of that disc, pushed it over from everybody. So you're going to see teams that are moving in that direction on offense probably being forced most of the time into that wind to mess with that right-handed flick.
Absolutely. Teams will have to recognize and make that adjustment, both upwind and downwind. Those downwind throws do tend to sail, though. Dyno's done a good job so far, both on the pole and on that huck, of just sitting them nicely out to space.
Mullen's pole will land out of bounds. Held its edge into the wind. So it will be Chandler Nantel who brings this over.
Dyno down in a person defense set.
I know coaching staff using their knowledge of former TC players to explain who's going to do what for Ignite. So these teams do know each other very, very well and expect their tactics or players' roles. Moore sends that around again, the wind catching it. Alexander with the take. Good heads-up play by Ignite to keep that errant throw alive. Rycroft gets that over to Moore. Moore looks for Alexander. Not open. Open now on the jam cut. Out to space. Great layout by Mache. Turning the hand over to prevent the ground contact. And that's down. But I'm curious if Connor Rycroft is going to call And foul on the second effort. Observer ruling certainly down. So no foul. Rycroft need a little help there. Sometimes when you're making the catch, you're not actually looking at the ground, so you don't know if it bounced.
No, and honestly, you shouldn't worry about the ground too much. Just focus on catching the disc.
Stokes, and a major anchor for Dyno. Gets it to Tran up the line. Seeing a vertical offense from Dyno here. Didn't see much of it earlier versus Origine, as Origine went with the zone most of the time, so it was a four-handler show. Ralph, athletic bit to keep it alive. Mullen now has a player underneath but doesn't want it, and there is a call. Something about the footwork, I think. But we'll find out. Coming in at 4. Mullen will almost certainly look to Stokes here. Hand block. And Ignite gets it back. Mache will pick up after directing traffic. Goes over the top to Alexander. Alexander is a thrower, likes to huck, but instead goes around to Mache. Mache looks for the break through contact, gets it to Rycroft. Back to Mache. Dyno trying to lock down these unders from a rather deep vertical stack. Great take there by Moore. Moore runs out of time, puts it up to space. Bodies in the area. And just off the hands of Thomas Kane, who got up very, very high, but the pressure from Tran causing a turnover. Even if you're not going to get it, that pressure can get you results. Mullen. Inside throw to McCauley. McCauley's going to throw. This is high up in the air. Chow, who's just been dominant in that space, is once again brings it down. Bausmina over to Stokes. And there's a call. Oh, it's a pick.
Pick, so the mark wasn't able to get there to start the stall count. See that adjustment there as Tyler Nantel closed its distance and is now able to bring it in at stall 1.
Stokes. Looking for options. We'll get it to Lael. Yep. Doesn't like any of the options, so he'll go back to his anchor. Pick called out of the stack. If you see those flexing biceps, that's a pick call.
Sun's out, guns out.
That's indeed. All right, we're all reset. Dyno content to continue off the front of the stack. They're getting options. McCauley doesn't like the flip to the front. Instead, he'll go back, throw it out to space. And Zhao is just everywhere in the end zone today, and he's able to make the upside down 7 cuts to bring that in. That was some vision there from Dyno, I think. The score, 2-0, another break.
Yeah, lots of pressure there from Ignite, especially from Moore on that hut. Came off his check to pressure, almost got a hand on it, not quite able to stop Zhao from coming down with it. But there too, you saw him coming through, trying to get the block, but again, just a little bit too late. And now we're seeing a timeout called from...
I believe so. I'm asking for anybody to tell me.
A potential timeout call.
Yeah,
we're looking.
Potential timeout call. You know what? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, probably a good call at this point in the game. It's still early, only 2 points, but they've been pretty quick.
This is a common timeout. I want to say it's common to juniors. I think it's common to every division. Is you've gotten broken twice, and why is you're making throwing errors. You can feel the energy, you can feel the intensity. This is the final, right? You need to get your team just to be like, take a breath, don't worry about the stage, just do what you always do.
Yeah, absolutely. This timeout really just a mental check for the team. Find that confidence. They are able to execute. You've done the work to get here. Just settle back into it. No need to rush.
Timeouts are 70 seconds long, additive to the poll, so gives the team just 2 minutes and 10 seconds to be ready to signal readiness. So they do go quick.
Yeah, you think when you're on the field, you have all the time in the world, and you really don't. It's just a quick grab of water, maybe a quick strategy talk, and nope, we got to go again.
Yeah, if you play League, it's safe to say you've gone overtime every single time. In the timeout.
Absolutely. Yeah, if there's not an observer to keep you honest, even at the club division, you'll milk those timeouts for all they're worth. And it's mutual between teams, especially on a hot day. You'll take those extra 30 seconds.
Yeah, observers do lines and times, so they are responsible for getting teams following their mandated time limits for various things as well. They will call in and out. They do not do up, down, ever, unless asked. Something that some players at this tournament did not know and kind of had to learn the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with asking the observer for their opinion or to make a ruling. They are there as an impartial.
Mullins' pull is going to fade inbounds and lands at the center. Ignite has an option to more right away. Alexander comes across on the slash cut. Ignite really likes that slash cut across in their horizontal. We hear the Dyno staff telling their players we need to protect that. That's their game. Moore working with Cleveland and others. And now they find the pace with the throw to Mache. I believe that was Alexander with the toss to get the assist.
No, that's exactly what we want to see coming out of the timeout. Like we talked about, it was just execution errors for Ignite, and that was clean. Nice, easy throws right to hands. Made easy work of the Dyno defense there.
The score 2-1. Very early, but already very athletic final.
And I think this is the first time we get to see Ignite come down with their defense. So curious to see what they throw down here.
This final is offset from the timing of the other games. So the open division, this is technically the last game. Some teams are just finishing up their current time slot, approaching hard cap on their end. So we can expect the stage to get even bigger after those open teams join us. And following, and I also believe that our women's division games are wrapping up as well. So following this game will be our women's division final, which will be very well attended, starting at, I want to say 3:30, but it might get pushed. These are longer games.
Yeah, I think it might be 3:45.
Yeah, I think you're right. Medal ceremony and so forth. It's a 105 minutes until soft cap and no hard cap on these time slots. So with 15 minutes remaining in the quote unquote time slot, they'll put soft on, but it could just keep going. Chow moves that over to Zhang. He has Centeno in the middle. Centeno doesn't have any options except for Velasquez, who's always ready to come in as a second option to reset the count. Zhang with the goose step. Gets it out. Oh, the wind now turning on Dyno. Well-defended foul called. No, retracted. That is a great retraction. I got contacted, I got hit, but actually the other team was there first. So
Yeah,
good spirit from Dyno
recognizing
there.
that throw was not really coming down well and just a little bit of botting didn't affect play.
Jones has the inside, but it's tight and it's flown down to the ground.
That's a
So-
tough shot downwind.
Dyno's O-line will get it back. Cal will pick up. 2, 3, 4. Chua and Heiser in the back, ready to go. Centeno out of the stack. Velasquez has the slash. Instead, he takes off. Centeno looks it off. And take the safe reset while it floats. Chua had the read on it from the get-go. He fakes the backhand huck. We'll go back to Centeno. Loose marks here from Ignite to stop that first shot. Velasquez. At Heiser underneath, but a little bit of miscommunication. Dyno, too many cooks in the kitchen. Centeno on the sideline now. Foot block by number 96, Jonah Walter. As Centeno tried to sneak that around him, but the boot came up. And Ignite now with a chance at a break. He's currently out of bounds. Players getting this blue line mixed up often. The orange pylon on the field marking where the dish should come in. Walter gets there. Walter running out of time. His break is going to pop up. Heiser, a big presence. Made his guy jump early, and this... Wage, do you want to weigh on this? I didn't see it very well.
Yeah, it looked like, I don't know if Ignite would have got the disc, but it did look like some significant late contact that may have been a bit unsafe. With that disc popping up, it didn't look super clean. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the conversation happening right now.
In the case, if it is quote unquote classified as dangerous, whether or not Ignite would have got it actually is irrelevant.
Correct. Yeah, there doesn't have to even be contact anymore for a dangerous play to occur. So if the offense is able to pull out of a dangerous situation that they would have otherwise gotten trucked, that can be called a dangerous play now. So you don't have to sacrifice the body as you would. Looks like they are asking for an outside opinion from the observer.
They're gonna contest. I saw the observer ruling and the fists come together. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they worked hard to get that around break off, but it is tough in that upwind. It did just pop and hover. I don't think the soul count was super high, but it can't come in higher than 6.
Players just asking for clarification on the count from Dominic St. Jacques here in the orange. Centeno. I think it's being explained to Centeno why it can't come in higher than 6, because he was at 9. So.
Oh, so it was a high soul count.
Yeah. And luck on the side of Ignite as the D was made, but Tenden is able to reel it in after it bounces off the hands of the defender. Willis, his pass. The dad throw.
I was going to say the same thing. That's not the throw you want at this kind of game. Put in the effort to make a good throw for your receiver.
Heiser fakes the huck. Again, that loose mark from Ignite really shutting it down. Ground contact, not survivable for Zhang.
Ignite's okay with those flat marks right now. I think really taking away the deep game from Dyno and forcing them to use the width of the field and the backfield.
They have the speed to match them, right? So locking down the hucks is a good strategy. Okay, another tight backhand, but Jones is available. He looks off his player, high stall count, puts it out to space. It's going to be Centeno and 50.
Yeah.
Well, it's Cleveland, but that pass was kind of sailing out of bounds. They both had to go up early. Centeno provided excellent pressure there.
Absolutely. Yeah, forced attack early, probably just to keep it in bounds. I think if he had waited any longer, probably would have been caught out the back. Yeah, not getting a lot of options there. These stall counts do seem to be going by pretty quickly, though, I will say.
Dyno loves to set up in the horizontal here to get off the sideline, but another error is that is thrown behind Velasquez. He tries to pivot and reach out to grab it, but too low. Ignite is having a hard time with their resets in their end zone, so let's see what we get here. Walter starts his cut early to try and get some motion, and another throw just too low, and it's going back and forth on these low throws, hitting the dirt too early.
It's going back and forth, but it is also all in this half of the field right now. So even though Ignite's turning it over, they're able to get it back in the short field. They've, really got to figure out their reset. Maybe trust their system a little bit more.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to cut knowing you're not going to get the disc, but you're making space for somebody else on your team to then be open. And I think they're lacking that right now.
It's this defensive pressure on the handlers. Like, both these teams are, kind of sometimes a trap too in these tournaments. If you only play teams all the way up to the final, of which your resets weren't exactly free, but like not pressured, and you're like, we can always count on the reset, and suddenly your resets are locked down on both sides like crazy. We see both teams just taking desperation stall 9 shots here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think not a bad look for Dyno, though. Like I said, they were having a lot of short field turnover, so just to get it down the other end, make Ignite work all the way up the field here and put that pressure on.
Tenden, he pitched that over to a reset, I believe Rycroft, but pick called. No, excuse me, it was Jones. So Tenden looking for options, goes back to Walter. Now Jones is available wide open. Late throw, but Golin maintains position. He's going to go around a few fake release points to get it off. Jones across to Walter. Walter turns on the Jets to keep it alive. His pass to Cleveland. No one home. Jones. Jones is going to put that out to Cleveland. This will float. Cleveland going up early with a great pressure from Dyno to come through and make the play. Cleveland checking on the Dyno defender. Good spirit there. Zhang was kind of shaken up. The Dyno players colliding with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes when you're defending, you're being aware of the offense, making sure not to make contact. And you're not always aware of your other defender also in the space. I've definitely been in that situation before.
Timeout Dyno.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a long grinding point, lots of back and forth here. Neither team, like you said, Clay, there's a lot more pressure on the reset than these teams have probably seen up to this point in the tournament, and it's proving to be challenging on both ends. You can see to Ignite there, not wanting to keep working down the low side as you would, so the sideline where the wind is pushing towards, and they were really looking to get it back to the middle, to the high side to open up the field. Which is also a really tough shot because, like we said, when you're throwing those insides or rounds into the wind, there's a risk of the disc popping up.
So we did get a chance to follow up with Ignite, so I'm going to tell you two things about them. Number one, they wanted to lift the floor up and be in the top four for this tournament. They did get knocked out in the quarterfinals last year after coming second in 2024, losing to you-know-who Dyno. So this is a rematch from 2024. Dyno on the rematch train today, beating Origine, their previous opponents. So Dyno trying to go through two finals here this week. And a second fact, they have a giant monkey mascot named Junior and a small monkey named Junior Junior.
Amazing.
Obviously.
I love it. I do see Junior over on the sideline there, just chilling in a chair. I don't see Junior Junior, though.
How do you know that's not Junior Junior?
I have had eyes on Junior Junior before. I say Junior Junior might be over there, just a little bit too small to see.
I mean,
but
Junior is the size of a small human. So.
Junior is indeed. Junior might be bigger than me.
All right, disc in. Chow goes across to Zhang. He's going to tuck. The wind brings it up. Another contested catch. Who's it going to be? And number 15, Benjamin Willis, is fired up as he gets the D over number 95, Velasquez.
Yeah, he had the line on that the whole time, tracked it really well, and able to come down with that no problem.
Timeouts, one apiece. Teams do get two per half, unaffected by cap. And this is our fourth point. Collision. Foul called by Ignite here. Fouls can be accidental, everybody. They're not always on purpose.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference between incidental and accidental. Hopefully, most fouls are accidental. You never want to see collisions occurring on purpose. Incidental just means it doesn't affect play, but in this case, the reset's trying to get open. Contact did occur that ended up with both players on the ground, so definitely not incidental contact.
So we're going to wait and see if Zhang is okay here as he's catching his breath. You know, he's on his knees, just, I'm okay. So you're good to see that. He's getting up slowly. I mean, we expect him to come off and get checked out for safety. We want him to be okay. He did get hit in the head, so
yeah,
there will be protocols that coaching staffs follow to ensure that he's all right. Be a coach, you do have to learn about concussion protocol and employ it. There's a class.
Which is great. It hasn't historically been as regimented as it now is, and concussions oftentimes went overlooked or ignored. And so, yeah, to see that implemented, coaches do have to take those courses in order to be able to recognize signs of concussions and just know what to do when there has been a hit. Sometimes concussions, you don't need to have a hit to the head. Sometimes just hitting the ground hard, having that little bit of whiplash effect. So
Zhang, though, saying he thinks he's okay. It did hit him in the cheek. So maybe, you know, he's all right. And they're talking with this player. I don't think this is just a reenactment. I think he is going to stay on, but they're trying to work it out. So now they're talking about whether or not this is a foul. This will probably be a contest. That doesn't really surprise me. Those horns aren't for us, if you can hear them on the stream, by the way. They just did go off. That is for the other rounds. We'll let you know, though, when we get there.
Yeah. Interesting contest call here, but could also be a case of offsetting fouls. Hard to tell if who initiated that contact there, because not always the defense. If offense goes in and creates that contact, could be on the offense as well. So it might be offsetting foul calls here. This stays where it is regardless.
Coaches can be asked to come on the field to do things, and Alex Lamb, out there making his player take a sub after they've sorted out what the call is. I think this is the best choice by the coaching staff of Dyno. Yeah, we can get the call right, but after that, Ethan Zhang, get off.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. And
Yeah.
players do want to play. Obviously, I think it's important for coaches to make those decisions and recognize, like, hey, you just got thrown around a little bit.
Yeah.
Take a sub, catch your breath, get checked out, and then if you're all good, you can come back on later.
Lil Yep comes on for Zhang. Ignite, looking for options. They're able to get it out of the jam in the end zone there. Still have it stuck on the sideline. Alexander and Jones kind of left alone here. Nobody has Jones yet. So he's able to get some gains. That pass pops up and bounces off the hands of Willis. I don't think he was expecting to have to jump.
No. And then Centeno there, just making sure the disc is actually down, knock it to the turf.
Chow. Looking for options. His pass is up high. And only Ignite is in the area to push it back down. Walter. Waiting for his team to set up. He'll look for the under, doesn't like it. Elects for the reset to Alexander. Resets to Cleveland, who was calling for it. Out to Jones. Jones doesn't have an open side space. Alexander going to do the upline fake and back, but no break side continue available as there is a pick against Cleveland.
Yeah, that ends up looking a little bit disorganized right there. Hopefully Ignite is talking about sorting that out.
Gets back in. Alexander goes for the break around. There's a second effort here. Heiser's a big dude, and he is able to position everybody out and make the second effort to confirm the defensive play. Chua now. We'll flip it back to Heiser. Round up to Centeno. Centeno stayed fast as that disc got pushed down from the wind. To Chow, doesn't like it. Heiser with the jam. Out to Yep. Yep. Being told to get it off the sideline. Starts working with Heiser. He goes up to Chua, keeps his feet in. Chua looking for Yep. Yep trying some jab steps. It's not working, but the stall works. And there's a stall down call. And Chua turns around right away to the observer and says, wait.
Wait. There's going to be discussion here. It is the T in 10, so you don't have to get the full word out, stall 10, or even if you're just saying 10. But as soon as you start to say 10, it is a stall down. Or might think he got it out before then, or sometimes the Mercs like to pick up speed at the very end there. They'll go,
The old
stall
8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. I said the T in 10, but you were just a little bit
What do you mean that's fast?
Everyone does it.
Everybody does it.
Surely it's okay if I do it.
Yeah. Coming in at 8, so it is contested.
Still with the wait. By the thrower here.
And
Uncontested. So that
uncontested.
throw will stand.
Oh, wait, no. Retracted?
Retracted.
Retracted.
So it was a fast count. I think the observer might have made that ruling.
Oh,
because
thank
it
you,
was a
Observer
fast
Troy. Here
count.
on the sidelines here. We're able to, go to Toronto here, and he's telling us what's going on.
Pointing at his watch
Yeah,
there. So
Observer confirmed it was a fast count. The pass stands.
Yeah.
Thank you, Troy. Yep.
yeah, the old
Has
8, 9,
Chua.
10.
The old 8, 9, 10. Chua has it. He'll find Centeno in the middle. Heiser calling for it in the back, trying to draw his check out of the way so that these handlers can get into the Dominator. Yep, now has Chua, who fakes the back and takes the space up line. Yep, with the jump cut and lasers it to Chua, who's fired up. The score 3-1. That is another Is that break for Dyno or is that no point?
That was a hold. That was a very,
Oh,
very
man.
long hold. Yeah, Ignite with multiple times to convert their break. Just didn't have it. And notice in the end zone there, I've seen this trend recently, especially among Vancouver junior teams, that just really short give-go passing, quick stealing your defender. Ignite did a good roll in there to slow it down a bit, but then Dyno just ran it a couple more times, able to score within maybe 3 meters of the thrower.
All the young people just want to cook.
They
They just
want
to get in front of the disc and cook. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I say that as an elder at this point. I'm in Grandmasters, and my old man gripe is all y'all want to do now is be the hero in front of the disc. It just keeps working, so I have to stop talking.
Yeah. It works for some. I don't know how to deal with it as a thrower when my younger teammates start to make that cut for me. I'm like, you're too close. I don't know how to get you the disc. I like the further looks. So definitely an adjustment I've been working on in my game to get with the times.
Yeah,
as
the
you
youth
say.
can teach the old dogs new tricks.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
all for it.
Yeah.
Mullins pull will
It's coming back
linger.
in.
Yeah, it's going to stay out. It's a great pull. Lots of time for the
Love it.
defense to get down. Chandler Nantel looking for options. Has Alexander under. Alexander doesn't like the hug. He'll go around back to Chandler Nantel. Nobody's on Rycroft, and I see some biceps downfield, so pick called.
Yeah, that happened a little while ago. Looks like because he's very open right now. You do have to be within 10 feet or
Yeah.
3 meters of your check in order to call a pick. So, yeah, they're having a little bit of discussion maybe of when that happened or what was affected. Because, yeah, Ignite, very open over there.
Very, very open.
But I would imagine that wasn't the case at the beginning of this point. So,
So some chit chat. Over here, Stokes is trying to plead his case while number 20 from Ignite, Declan Brook, is like, no, I don't think so. So observer Saint-Jacques, that's Dominic there. He's solid and will let us know what's happening here.
yeah.
I've talked to Dominic before, and sometimes he's like, you guys just ask me. I got you. Observer ruling it is a pick, so it's going back, and Stokes will
Yeah,
come
and
back to
they're
where the offense goes back to where the pick was, and the defense moves to cover the offense.
look at junior rules knowledge, Clay.
I have been trying, mainly because I got it wrong so many times. Rycroft gets it anyway, and flips it up to Chandler Nantel. And another call downfield. I don't see any hand signals yet.
A little bit of discussion off the reset, maybe.
I think it was some
Little
contact in the
positioning.
way there's cutting between Moore and Bausmina. So they're talking about it. I mean, players are really jockeying for position, right? So there's well, I'd say subconscious push-offs and bumping to get open. So Knight gonna have to go around in the layout block at the last second to get Ignite the turn. That was number 5, Jaden McCready, with an excellent presence of mind. Hair trigger to make that block.
Such a great read there, knowing after that stoppage, that was likely the primary look, was that around, and I think he's already ready, loaded to go.
Good lockdown D here, but taken high by Tran. He'll flip that to Stokes. Tran has Mullen open, doesn't take the shot, instead going to take something safer just in front of the end zone to Yep. Back to Tran. Al trying to attack that front comb, but it's not there. Stokes is going to set up the reset. He wants it back around. And Dyno trying to organize, let the handlers reset the count until they can get their stack organized. Lael Yep gets the disc after some quarterback action. He's going to go over the top to a wide open Chow, who elevates once again. Somebody check his shoes.
It's a nice single-handed grab. Snag there, other air. The distance coming in hot on a downwind, almost blade, maybe still classified as an OI throw, but that was coming in hot. Obviously, a thrower knows his receiver there. Jal's coming down with a lot today. Upwind, downwind, he's everywhere.
Score 4-1. You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at the score of 4-1, and yet I feel like no one has pushed Dyno to this stage yet. At least, well, in the games I've seen, which are 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-1, so the 5 points have elapsed, but it's been 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not been an easy 4-1. It is a timeout now. This is Ignite's second timeout of the half, so they won't be able to call anymore, I think.
Not this
needed.
half, yeah.
They've been
And-
pushing them hard. There have been turnovers, there have been chances for Ignite, but they are struggling to really capitalize. And struggling in the short field too, which,
Yeah.
yeah, at this level, you really want your end zone to be dialed.
So, Knight running water out to their D-line there as most players are staying. You are definitely going to ride your, your D1, which is commonly your D-line starters. In the final, this is the time where you really shorten the bench. Everybody gets it. You know, you're gonna compete for that medal.
Yeah.
So, Ignite. I'm curious what they're talking about in that timeout. Is that just a rest for the O-line? I mean, because what else is there to say?
Yeah, at this point, you kind of know what's going right. You know what's going wrong. Yeah, like we said, a rest for the D-line, but a rest for the O-line here too. Typically, a lot of teams have an O1 and then a D1 and a D2. Not often you have an exact O2, or sometimes that's your D-liner stepping in to try to make something happen.
Yeah,
so
more crossover.
a little bit of crossover. So wouldn't be surprised if that was just to get O-line a little bit of a physical and mental break so that they can hopefully just walk this one down the field again. We have seen it from them. Would like to see if they can do it again.
Staying on side is Dyno, just. That ball has a hard edge on it, so it comes down a bit sooner. Chandler Nontal out to Alexander. Alexander's a lefty, so he's able to get that around off pretty easily. Moore working with Jones. Jones takes off. Moore has an under to Rycroft. It was sealed out by Cleveland. He didn't really like Bausmina's contact there. He's kind of pushed out of bounds. Just
A little bit of chatter from the coach on the sideline. Observer maybe politely asking him to
he reeled it
let
in,
the players
but that's
play.
tough. Yeah. Good to reel it in, though.
Yep.
Moore. Has Chandler Nontel. Pressure on Alexander, but he's got the line. Out to Rycroft. Ignite just having some success on this open side. Again to Jones. And he's going to put that out to space for Cleveland, who runs onto it.
That was a very nice throw there. You had some pressure from JLF, I think they're on the under, taking away that line, but that throw just had a nice edge, put it to space downfield of the defender. There's another one coming off the stack there too, looking to see if they can make a play on it, but made the smart decision and didn't initiate any contact. So a nice clean hold from Ignite. And I think they needed that.
They did. I'm a little surprised that the open side unders were so available.
Well,
because, I mean, Dyno has had lockdown D on those earlier and has left the huck open for Ignite. And that hasn't been working, so.
Well, I think earlier too, Ignite was really looking to reverse the field, looking for the middle, looking for the round. So Dyno might have been just fighting a little bit harder there because Ignite was having success on reversing the field. So yeah, Dyno overcompensating a little bit to pressure those rounds downfield, leaving that upline open side a little bit too open. You've heard the Dyno coaches yelling, no open side a lot this game. Maybe they weren't yelling loud enough at that point.
It just, what do you have to do in an open ultimate when something isn't working? Yell more.
I think so. I think so. Whoever
At least in
yells
my
the
era.
loudest.
Alexander's pull. Might go out the back. It does not. It lands in the back corner. Can Ignite get down there?
Very
Put some
nicely.
pressure on. They can. So on the reverse brick mark is Dyno. They're looking for options. They don't hit the open side to Velasquez. Now starting to run out of time. Gonna have to put it up at stall 9. This will be contested. And it's Cleveland who had the read on it all day. Gets it over to Alexander. Alexander doesn't like the reset to Cormier, but he sticks around. And he leads after it goes out to Chandler Nantel. More red zone offense here from Ignite. Moore will throw that IO inside to Alexander. Alexander doesn't like the first cut. Think about options on his backhand. Pitches it over top, and the wind just catches it. That looked like a free goal to Moore, but it pops up. Throwing the disc in that direction, that has happened over and over to these teams. Centeno's throw is up high. Velasquez has the read. Velasquez hears the chill call from his coach and centers the disc into his handler core. That unit he's with has been so tight as he gets the disc back from Centeno. Chua. Big fake and sets up the give go, but a good switch from Ignite. Velasquez over top. And Velasquez made a good cut, but Lutz Cleveland turned around and he's like, I know this play.
Yeah,
and
we've seen it once or twice before. Great heads up D there.
He'll take off and draw several Dyno defenders. So some players are available here for Ignite, but they're unable to capitalize. Instead, Cleveland will come under to get it, and he'll pitch it out. That is too far for 1-5 Willis.
Not enough of a sit there. That edge causing this to come down pretty quickly. And it is late in the tournament here. We're in the final game. Legs are tired. You don't have the same speed as you did day 1, game 1. And throwers need to recognize, make that little bit of adjustment.
Heiser. His pass to Velasquez underneath is wide open. Dyno moving it up. Chua looking for options. He's going to puck, and Ignite saw it coming. Chua throwing his head up in frustration. I shouldn't have done that.
Again, a little bit of help defense there with Ignite.
Moore goes around to Chandler Nantel. He has a backhand around to Alexander. Alexander doesn't like the first slash cuts that weren't really committed. Instead, takes the inside shot. And that's thrown to Cleveland from Chandler Nantel. The first break of the game for Ignite. 4-3. Dyno up 3 breaks to 1. So still have a pretty good buffer, but the intensity now coming back for Ignite.
Yeah, seeing lots of energy as the team rushes the field there. High-fiving the line.
No longer walk through in front of the stand. Go aroround the back.
We're hearing announcements in the crowd stands right now.
Yeah.
We're like, what are they talking about over there? Because it is full.
Yeah.
Getting some crowd management as we got.
Brian Gizzle there on the mic, I believe.
Yeah, everyone's around the fence. Got a few people behind us on the other side of the fence watching. Stands are full.
Yeah, full house here. I think people trying to get shade where they can as well, hanging out under the trees in favor of the sunny bleachers over there. The shady bleachers are just about at max capacity.
It is hot. Sunny, not a cloud in the sky. I, for some reason, chose to wear black, just like you. We're doing okay.
It's okay. We're okay. Yeah, so, chance for Ignite to roll this break train here, putting the pressure on. We talked earlier about execution, and that's all that was on their first break chance, or first chance to convert that break, rather. Like Clay said, it looked pretty open, and just a bit of an execution error, but they were able to get the disc back and then reel it in.
So Ignite's going to have to rotate their roster a little bit here, as that was a long point. So we are seeing some familiar faces with some support from the other side.
We're also in a little bit of a junk here. It looks like a 2-4-1.
Yeah. It's almost like they're baiting Dyno to get at the sideline and then set up a trap. So,
yeah.
But I mean, Dyno is like comfortable.
A lot of Ignite players in the area there. Dyno trying to play their small ball, but Ignite has the read on that now. They just get their hands in and they're like, you're looking for the small space. Let me knock that disc down.
Alexander wasn't going in that direction, but turns on the Jets to keep that alive. He'll get the disc back and then pitches it into Jones. Bang. Break for Ignite. The score 4-4. Not quite on serve yet, but keeping the game within one.
And that was a great call by the Ignite coaches there. Coming down with that funky serve. 2 people near the disc, loose on the marks, but 4 people in the midfield. And then as Dyno was trying to close, capitalize on those small passes, Ignite players just getting in the way. And all of a sudden you had a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
And it was not in favor of Dyno.
Timeout Black here, so Dyno taking the final timeout of the half. The score is 4-4, and neither team has a timeout left in the first half.
No.
That tells you how competitive it is.
The cap does go on, the halftime cap rather goes on at 55 minutes, and we are 45 minutes into the
10 minutes
half.
away.
So probably a good time to use that timeout, get that little bit of rest, especially Dyno going down 2 breaks in a row. They gotta sort out their offense here.
Ottawa has a lot of teams at this tournament, and very strong, consolidated junior program. 1/2 of the stands is Ignite fans right now.
Yeah.
So Vancouver here, not with any kind of hometown advantage, I would say.
I was just thinking the same thing. If you asked me and I didn't already know, I would not be able to tell you who the home team is. I don't know, Vancouver. Maybe people don't want to travel to Surrey from Vancouver. It's a bit of a trek.
There's traffic.
There's
Get it?
traffic. Play
Wages
seems
on traffic for
hilarious.
those wondering.
Yeah, I'm wearing, also wearing traffic at the moment. We like traffic here in Vancouver. We like Vancouver traffic.
Well. Anyway.
And back to the first
Yeah,
game.
back to Brittany. Yeah. So Ignite here, going to be Alexander pulling. This is his 3rd or 4th point in a row. Like we said earlier, teams are going to ride their stars. It is the time for that. It's 4-4. You're 45 minutes into a game. Half is going to get capped in 10 minutes. You ask your players, do you have it? And with juniors, they're almost always like, of course I do. So Alexander's pull is low. Heiserer fields it easily. Dyno's going to get in a good position here, but Ignite comes down in a zone that did stifle Dyno last time. Velasquez and Chow will play some pass. Chow pushing his mark off of the infringement on disc space. Stokes crossing over to O-line, flips that around to Heiserer. Centeno. Blows back to Heiserer, who bobbled a little, but everything's fine. Everything's fine. Chow goes to Velasquez, and getting his hands in there was Burwell to try and break things up. Trap called by Ignite against Velasquez, who's looking for something, showing a little frustration. Needs some options. Stokes is going to be out of bounds for that pass, so the throw is up, and Cleveland had the read on that all the way, pitches it to a wide open Jones, and Ottawa takes the lead. Capitalizing on the air, the trap worked on that zone. The score 5-4. We are back on serve at 3 breaks apiece.
Ignite doing a great job there, forcing Dyno to stay in their own half, not giving any options downfield. Dyno looked pretty comfortable to work it between the handlers until it got to that sideline. Ignite put that trap on. They adjusted the mark, forcing it into the sideline. The one wing of the Arrowhead dropped back to take the reset. Almost wasn't a person, just not giving them anything. And even as that reset comes in closer, that just brings your defender in as well. And again, crowds the disc, which Dyno likes to play that style, but I think Ignite's starting to use that to their advantage.
Yeah, and with how well these teams know each other, they've played against her a bunch of times. I mean, you have coaches that are like brothers playing against each other right now. They know the tactics of the other. Like, you do have to wonder, what did Coach Lamb and Coach Atala hide from each other for the last 5 years that they can bring out now, or have to redevelop their systems to like shock the other team that they haven't prepared for? It's something to think about.
And especially when they're coaching together for Team Canada, you don't want to hide any secrets because you want that team to succeed.
No, you share your notes. So, yeah. That's a tough emotional, mental thing for Dyno, having called the timeout and then getting broken. So, this pole going to hang a little bit longer as it's fielded by Stokes, continuing to cross over, seeing a little bit of a rotation in the roster here from Dyno to change things up, but not too much. Centeno and Stokes and Chua back there as consistent handler core, but now being joined by Poon And Bosmina back there.
Ignite's back in that 2-4-2 look when Dyno's going upwind. I think hoping that Dyno just puts something up and it floats so all the defenders downfield can just snack on it.
You know, I want to say this is something that looks like something I used to hear about Furious doing called Safari, where you form kind of a horseshoe around the zone, and then your mid-mids can kind of come in and get very, very aggressive. I believe it was Safari.
I have heard of a Safari. I think I ran Safari, but it's been so long I could not tell you what it
I
involved.
might be way off. I might have the name wrong, but I've seen this before. Kind of a horseshoe zone, force them to the outsides, and then you leave someone in the middle, the fifth player, to be very, very aggressive on anyone coming over the top. Velasquez will go back to Poon. He's got a low release around Achua. They use the whole width of the field over to Centeno. Stokes.
Looks like we're in a match defense now from Ignite. They've transitioned, trying to pick up their people and communicate downfield.
Well, you know what? I think they're still. I
They
can't
might
tell. They're
have-
still in it. It's very sloughy from the handlers either way.
Yeah. Yeah, we heard the call for the mills, but yeah, maybe they decided zone's working. Let's keep it going. Dyno is still in their half of the field.
You can go like there's nothing wrong with playing match defense, but then falling into something of where you slough. But looking downfield, I think it might have fit a bit of feint. The sticking with kind of this look. Now we're in man or match, excuse me. And there's a call by Joshua Moore. Coach Lamb hates it. I'm just going to keep taking shots, but he does not care. I should just stop.
Coach Lamb and Coach Finn's getting really low to the ground here so that they have the best perspective
Yes.
possible.
Well, the discussion is happening. Observer Kudo explaining to us, signaling to us, excuse me, that it is coming in at 6. Stokes and Chua have been very quick on their jabs or their moves here. So I expect it'll be one of them. Poon could slash across. We'll see, but you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen here if you're Dyno.
I wouldn't be surprised if that long ball just comes out here as well.
yeah.
Dyno's been not afraid in the high stall counts. Just get the disc downfield.
Cleveland, though, has been big in the air, and he's in the backfield. It is to Chua, who's able to find the inside and through contact, pitch it up to Velasquez. And Chua comes up and gets it right back. Big around to Bosmina. Stokes. Out Centeno. Velasquez punishing the switch, sticking around, but no dice. Instead, Chua will go around to Stokes. Centeno takes off. He's on the open side. Can't pitch it in. Everyone's going to cook in front.
Lots of cooks in the kitchen right now.
And it works. Velasquez with the disc. Starting to sense a pattern from the Vancouver Core Ultimate. Someone is always going to keep coming back in the front of that disc. I think if you keep up on social media, you might have watched Mika Kurahashi do that over and over and over with the UBC Thunderbirds.
Yeah. One adjustment the mark could make here, because right now the mark is quite tight, but you can continue to count stalls anywhere within 3 meters of the disc. So if they have the wherewithal, because the downfield cutter or the reset is coming in so tight, if the mark just steps off, takes that away, goes towards the cutter, they can keep counting, take it away, and then close up that mark again. And that might not be a bad adjustment for Ignite to make. Again, requires a little bit of communication. Then you do give up a potential around, but Dyno is very focused on that short road cut.
Exactly. Like at stall 8, someone is still going there. So you got to deal with that somehow. And you're very, unless you play against it or is the system of your team, it's not common and you're not used to it at all.
So like I said, it's been a bit of a trend, at least here on the West Coast in the last couple of years. So teams should start getting used to it.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly, Clay is unhappy about this development.
Yeah, I believe I might be labeled a curmudgeon at this point about it, but that's okay. I'll take it. 5-5, Mullins pole. High up in the sunshine, but Mache is able to get the read on it to Alexander. Deep vertical stack here from Ignite. 3 handlers back against this vertical. Chandler Nantel. Out to Rycroft. And who will go right back. Has an under to Alexander. After looking off the huck, Ignite has had success with pushing this open side, and that inside is thrown a little too late. Is Mullen going to toss? He's not. Good blocks there, jumping in front of the lane by Ignite. And there's a pick call. I am searching for where?
Downfield, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit of field adjustment there, and this stays where it is.
Stokes. Doesn't like the throw to Zhang. Good to see him back out there. Zhang wants it. Stokes is going to throw it a high stall count. Gets up early, but ooh, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, from my perspective, didn't look like much contact or much significant contact. I think the defender.
I think Brook is it's a lose-lose situation for Brook if he's going to get that foul called by Zhang. Zhang went up early, and it bounced off his hand, but he was going to land on Brook, and he's saying, or that contact kept me from catching it. And what's Brook going to do? He didn't back up. Did he run into him?
I think he held his line.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective. I mean, hard to see in the moment. It'd be interesting to watch this replay later.
And Zhang is kind of, I'm trying to read the hand talking here, but Zhang is arguing that Brook did back up into him. So that is a case. That is a case.
So a little bit of bump while he was trying to catch it. They are
Observer ruling, no foul. Thank you, Troy, back at headquarters in Toronto, helping us figure this out.
Yeah, I do think that's the right call.
Yeah, me too. So that did go to the observer, no foul.
Yeah. Yeah, great read by the defense. And the disc did hang, so yeah, offense had to work to come down with it. Unfortunately, just not able to.
Chandler Nantel walks it up. Alexander setting up in front for the ISO. Gets the break and is able to elevate. Who's going to go? And Reed, there's some shoving. And it seems to me that if Rycroft had tried to play that, he would have had it, but instead wanted to establish position first against Stokes, who now has the disc. Up high to Mullen. Reels that in with ease. He goes around to Stokes. No options right away. Bosmina left open on the around. Galleth not open on the under. Mullen takes off. He's dangerous in the air as we saw last game. Tran looks to the aforementioned player coming under, but it's not there. Tran instead electing to go to Stokes for the reset. Safe choice. Stokes is such an anchor for this team. Mullen doesn't like the inside. Goes over the top, but it's a miscommunication. So Ignite with another opportunity. This would be a hold for Ignite. It's been a long point. No timeouts left. Players just have to grind this out more. As Alexander in the middle. Alexander is a thrower, but no one was going, so he has to reset to Brook.
A little bit of poaching from the Dyno mark from the reset there, taking away some of the space downfield.
Burwell gets it to Moore.
Again, you can hear that no open side call from the Dyno coach, but Ignite does it anyways.
Scoop cut by Mache. He gets right back up and comes to the line. He does not need to wait for his defender to be ready and throws it to Moore. The score 6-5, that hold. So Ignite maintaining that lead. Still on serve, though. Thanks, Wage. Pointing to the time here. Half is going to be at 7, capped at 45 minutes. So we do have a halftime cap. So a score of 6-5 for Ignite. Looking, they don't have their line quite yet, and I know your screen, you're looking at Ignite's line, but looking at Dyno's O-line off screen right now, I can see, I would say the O-line that we are used to. Cow, Chua, Heiserer.
Well, this will be the last point in this half, possibly. Possibly.
If Ignite scores, yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be 1 or 2 more points. Let's see here. But Kamimura making more of a presence from earlier today. He's out there, number 41. But Velasquez, Centeno. Yeah, pretty standard O look here from Dyno.
Yeah, if Dyno scores this, though, they would then send out their D-line for half anyway. So you do really
I
want
think
to
you'd have
stack
to give
this.
your O-line quite a rest. I wouldn't cross over at that point. I think you need to rest them.
I think so. It's a long game.
Heiserer flips it up, tries a play. This is a planet. Handler taking off right away, wing coming underneath, but Ignite has been so poachy with their D, kind of in this zone match that has confused us and confused Dyno, but now Dyno is getting some momentum, and that's knocked out of his hands. Foul, no contest right away by Jones. Good spirit there. Cannot take the disc or bang it out of a player's hands. They have to release it first. Heiserer around to Poon, who has also made more appearances this game than before. That pass is high for Velasquez. He has to make an awkward catch, and it hits the ground. Coaches from Ignite, Coach T here saying, use it, use it, use it, but instead, Ignite gets organized. Alexander's wide open. And foul called downfield, some bumping,
Yeah,
no
signal,
contest.
no
So this will be
contest.
on 0 because it was a, well, I believe it was a defensive foul.
Yeah.
So stalling one. Alexander already looking for the swing. Takes the inside. Chandler Nantel is going to give it right back to Alexander. The tall Heiserer nearby, but Alexander has the read. And Ignite takes half, going up one break on the game. The score 7-5. And that is our halftime.
That's
Sorry.
a great push from Ignite in the latter half of the first half. Really figuring out Dyno's offense and able to get those turns. And as long as he can execute, they're in a good position here. I think Dyno does need to make some adjustments going into the second half.
Now, Ignite officially up a break. They will start the half on defense, though, as they started the game on O. We're going to see if any players or coaches are interested in an interview in halftime. So we'll be doing that shortly after a few ads. But also, if that's not your jam and you just want to come back for the second half, 7 minutes until the second half. Stay with us.
Okay.
Indeed, we do. I'm here
right.
with Coach Atala for a halftime interview, electing to allow his players to stay focused on the game. And usually, Habib, when we do these interviews, I ask the players how to maintain focus and everything. I don't need to do that with you. So let's talk about how you're feeling about that 0-5 record against your brother yet rival coach Alex Lamb for Dyno right now. How
I
are you
love him
feeling?
so much. I mean, I'm feeling that, hey, it's creeping, but we got to stay focused on the game. I love that, Dyno keeps challenging us every single year, literally, and we take that challenge. And right now we're looking pretty good, so I'm happy.
That's excellent. Wage and I were noticing that your strategies as a team have been changing. You're running, maybe, I don't know if you want to let out the secrets. Maybe you can even just give me a name. What is your zone? We're trying to figure it out. Okay, what will you tell us about it?
The only thing I'll say, it's called the randomizer, so it changes every time. So meaning that we call certain things on the line that changes the look, changes the handler, and changes based on who has the disc. So it's a randomizer zone we invented, and hopefully it keeps working for us. But we gotta
mystery zone, as we call it in Victoria. That's amazing. I mean, it's confusing us. It's confusing Dyno.
Sure.
So it seems to be working for you that it's made the adjustment. I mean, I pulled you out of your halftime huddle. You've got a big coaching staff. Can you let me on? And if there's a simple message, again, no secrets, but what is a message you can share with us that they're talking about at halftime?
Oh, composure and discipline. Like we always tell them, act like you've been here before. Confident humility is going to help us win this game, is that we stay confident where we are, but we stay humble that nothing's finished, really. So we have to come out with some fire.
Awesome. Well, I know you've been here lots of times, and you've got a big stage and all the fans in front of you. So, good luck rest of the game. You've given us a great one so far.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right, and we're back starting the second half of the Junior Open Final here at Newton Athletic Park. Currently, the score is 7-5 for Ignite. They were down 4-1 in the first half, but came back, earned 4 breaks in a row to make it 5-4. And despite a good fight from Dyno, not quite able to get back in the lead. So we've got Ignite pulling here, starting on defense, Dyno on offense. Curious to see if they are adjusting their game at all.
Against this randomizer wage, never in my life did I say I would be calling a game where a team employs the mystery zone
No,
in the
I've
final.
only done MZ at a league. Can't say I've ever done it in a final. Maybe a league final.
Well, another kind of dunk in front. Oh, and it's close, but Velasquez is able to dig that out. And Dyno trying to keep that core in front. They do. Centeno looking for options. He has Chow around for free, who moves that to Stokes.
Ignite very comfortable holding this randomizer zone, forcing Dyno to go backfield, maybe around, not getting a lot of looks downfield, but that is where all the Ignite defenders are.
But they find a gap to Velasquez. He has been in that spot all tournament. Able to find the gaps in the zone. He'll flip it to Yip and try and get in an ISO, but no one's on Centeno, so he'll get the pass. No one's on Stokes. Centeno sees it, but Ignite clamps down on it. Velasquez now in front of the stack. Dyno employs their cooking in the front, but it's not there that time, and Centeno trying to catch it with his offhand. No dice. And there is an injury. Looks like something's going on with the leg of number 33, Philippe Golin, so he'll take a sub.
And it looks like Dyno's electing to do the same. So if one team calls an injury and subs, the other team is allowed to make a substitution as well, so they're not penalized by having fewer fresh legs on the field.
Chow goes off for Jalf, and Mache coming on for Ignite. Ignite disc here, excuse me. Everyone's just got to work out where they should be first.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too much controversy here because it'll just be a ground tap. No one actually has possession of the disc. So as soon as the subs make that ground tap, players are allowed to move.
Cleveland feeling it. He's ready to go. Been a big producer this game. He'll set up in the ISO position for Ignite here, and he'll take off. That's a tough huck right now, though. Maybe not for Alexander, who has the disc, but he doesn't take the shot. Has the under for free to Moore. Velasquez clamping down on the under. It's not there, so Moore has to go around to Alexander. Definitely the person you want to have the disc, though. Cleveland available, looking for options. Has Mache over to Moore. Alexander's going to set up the ISO in front. It's not there. So Moore will have to go around to Jones. Relieves the pressure there. Alexander looking for options. Kind of gives the nod, but foot block by Yip. Who knew what Alexander was looking for? Alexander called that shot. Yip saw it. Stuck out the boot in an athletic foot block there. Stokes will pick up. Centeno. Cut, but there seems to be, he came too far up to the goal line, got called in trouble, had to go backwards, so breaks up the flow a little. But Chua instead will get the disc. Goes back to Stokes. Yip will come under from the front. Alexander getting that mark on fast. Big flat mark here from Ignite in order to stop the Hawks. Ignite coming across on Stokes to prevent the continue. And Dyno continues to get around against his flat marks. That seems to be Ignite's tolerance right now. That passed up high for Centeno, and he can't field it.
A little bit of conversation, but doesn't look like there's actually a call on the field.
You know what? Cleveland called a foul as a push-off. Gotcha. And then Centeno was like, well, what does that mean? Well, actually, the play has to resolve itself first. So offensive foul, but it was a turnover on the same player, so it doesn't matter. And but then the disc comes right back. Jones drops it. Chua picks up. Centeno over to Chua. Yep. Looks for the options deep. It's not there. Big marks from Ignite. Sluffy, flat. You can see Alexander taking his time. He's like, go ahead. go ahead and take the around as we set up in front of you. And Centeno with the good take. Cleveland making the play. We're going to see if they're both okay. I do feel that was, I think that was okay. It's just the landing. Centeno, I don't know. From this angle, it's tough to say. I think he was in the air early enough, but the follow-through meant Centeno was going over top of him. I don't think that was predicted.
I think the bid was clean. Unfortunately, just the body laying on the ground. Centeno just tripped over a little bit. Looks like Cleveland came out worse for wear on that play and is taking an injury sub. Dyno coaches calling for a player to sub on as well. Observers helping to control that situation. Seems to be a little bit of confusion.
Heiser coming on. He's going to take Jalp off.
Yeah, both teams have substituted players. And the disc remains with Centeno. Clean grab there.
Cormier comes on for Ignite, and he'll be on the mark. Centeno has Heiser wide open. And Alexander saw it coming, so now he's able to get that disc back with his own prediction of the pass. I don't know if he got
a touch on that or just the pressure interrupt the sightline for the offense. Either way, I'd give the D stat to Alexander there.
100%. Moore flips it up high to Chandler Natel, not quite in. Moore is going to try a jump cut here.
I don't know how I feel about those jump cuts. Are they gaining much off of them?
Alexander gets the layout block and a goal for Ignite. That was the first point out of half. That is a break, a huge momentum point for Ignite.
That is huge coming out of half. And a great catch there. Layout, the disc was probably outside the end zone upon landing, but because his toes were in the end zone, observer signaling for the goal. It is first point of contact when you gain possession of the disc. So
okay, fun fact. And maybe this is just a me thing, but I feel like it's intuitive. For those of you watching, when an observer sticks the hands down and points to the end zone, they're actually not indicating a completed catch. They're saying the offense is motioning that they've gained possession in the end zone. However, like you're inbounds inside the end zone. However, since they don't do up-down calls, it is not signaling a completed pass. That is still up to the players to determine. 99 out of 100 times, everybody knows. But we did have an instance yesterday in our Canyon, I want to say, I don't know who it was against, but in Canyon's final, I want to say Titan or Origin, I'm can't quite remember. Or Toba. It was against Toba. The observer signaled inbounds, and all the Toba players were looking, say, well, are you saying it's up or down? And he's like, well, I'm not. I'm just saying the offense is motioning that they caught it. So,
well, and this is an officiating sport, but it's also important not only to know the rules, but to know what the observers are calling. So like we've said, they will actively call the times in between points. They will call ins and outs. They will also signal for false starts and offsides. But that is it. Anything else, it's up to the players to be making those calls on the field.
Mullen faces off against the randomizer with Stokes, but they're able to get the Bausmina. We are seeing kind of a lot of work from 2-9 here, making his first big appearance in the game. Elise chasing on the mark here. I have a double team a little bit, so Ignite's going to have to be careful as the Ignite Cup here. Not really sure who's going to mark each time.
It's the randomizer, Clay.
Pardon me?
It's the randomizer.
Yeah, they don't even know.
No. You know what? If the defense doesn't know what they're doing, the offense definitely doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Can't run his own offense when the zone doesn't know what it looks like.
And I mean, it is working. Dyno is still in their own half. They haven't even hit the brick mark yet. Ignite doing a good job to stop those downfield looks.
Mullen, Dyno trying to get their players to really stretch deep and make some room in the mids. Not seeing a trap call from Ignite here, you know. They're just like, you guys just keep going around. We're cool with it. So playing the law of averages on this one, trying to force 40 to 50 passes. One will be a drop or a mistake.
And, you know, really, I think trying to tire out Dyno's offense here, both physically and mentally, because making all of those passes, it wears on you.
Well, and it makes sense at a score of 8-5. You're up 2 breaks now. This is where you throw in that D2. I mean, like, Belisi's working real hard out there, but this is his first point of the game. Seeing a blue card, what I believe is on the double team here, because there's been quite a bit. But you're right. This is a tiring out point. This is a zone to make the O-line tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Dyno not really able to capitalize. They're keeping the disc alive, moving it around very comfortably. Not able to advance it. They are now on their own end zone line. Still just looking to swing.
Observer Troy confirming with me that that was a blue for the double team. I'm on top of it.
Do we even need Troy anymore?
Oh, no, Troy, stick around. We're going to need you again. As Dyno continues to make lateral passes over and over.
Ignite putting a little bit more pressure on those resets too at the high stall counts.
Ignite forcing them into a difficult position. Crowd noise picking up, sideline noise picking up.
They are in Callahan territory. That would be exciting in a final.
Tran protecting that by getting up early. And a layout block is very, very close, but it is McCreary who's able to keep it alive. He's looking for gaps. There aren't any. Stokes looking for gaps. He wants someone to stretch it deep. And he'll go over the top to a wide open Mullen. You can see the cup for Ignite starting to get tired here, but maybe a little capitalization here. Can they keep it going?
The cup is working
Mullen
hard,
will
but
chisel.
shout out to the midfield defenders too, who are not allowing that next throw to get off. Gulan doing a really good job there of cutting off the downfield receiver, forcing Dyno to look to the reset.
Tran gets it around. And no options for Bosmina, so he'll have to reset to Stokes. Tran comes back. He'll go over the top. That's a tighter one, but Mullen still has the read. This pass picked up by the wind, but fielded well by McCreary. He tries to throw it up line, but a great defensive play by Willis to stop that. And bolstered by McCreary back in the hands of Tran to Stokes. We got to be at something like 50 passes now. Who's counting?
Not me, Clay.
Stokes. Out to Tran. Tran looking for options. Stokes will come around. A good no bid there, I would say, from Golez. That could have been risky. Stokes. Around to Tran.
And Ignite seems pretty happy just to force those loss of throws. They're really protecting the midfield here, making Dyno go around and the sidelines. And finally, we see a big look deep, but defense is there.
And for the first time today, seeing Umesh Jal defended in the deep space. Ignite eventually forcing the frustration Huck.
I was going to say, was that a we trust Jelp to come down with it, or I'm tired of swinging the disc?
Well, yeah, I think
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
More with the defensive play. That's going to go out to Willis. Does Tran have the read over Willis? He does.
But
now they get it moving. They don't get it moving very quickly, and Ignite signaling to get the zone on.
The zone is there.
Mullen takes it high. And the swing game is back on. Can he get there in time? He cannot. That was Caleb Tang, unable to catch up to the disc.
You can see Ignite with their hands out, just telling each other, let's settle down, let's be patient. I think they were a little bit impatient off that Huck look in the last possession. See if they can run a textbook end zone here.
Challenge on tell. Reset to Moore. Moore takes the inside shot. Add Willis. Willis around. Foul called on the throw for sure. For sure. A little bump there before the release. That will go back.
Interesting that it's coming back, because I thought that disc was potentially caught. It is the timing of it. So if the foul occurred before the throw, the disc would go back. If the foul occurs on the throw would stand until the resolution of the catch.
Golan's throw?
I thought it was still up.
Oh, my bad.
But I'm not the closest here. Maybe there's a down call, in which case that foul does make a difference. But if that disc was caught, it should just stay with the Ignite receiver.
Yeah. And this is another case of where, like, Umesh Jalith definitely did not do that on purpose.
No.
But, you know, the body contact, even accidental in a thrower's throwing motion, is still a foul.
Absolutely affected the play there.
I mean, technically all fouls should be accidental.
We hope. If it's not, you are in the wrong sport.
Yeah.
It's not like hockey where you could, say, trip somebody and take that 2-minute penalty. We don't have penalties in Ultimate. You're just not supposed to touch the other team.
So it's coming in on 1, so it is a foul on the throw. It does go back.
Time for Ignite to chat, settle into their end zone again.
On the doorstep is Moore after he gets that quick pass off, tapping the disc in. And a drop. Kind of a short pass, low to the ground to Chandler Natal. Jalith goes deep. Nobody's on him. Cup is back on. Stokes is just going to unleash. And a misread.
But it does not matter.
The wind continuing to assert itself this point against Dyno, I would say. Timeout call. And that is the first timeout of this half for Ignite. They have 1 left in the game now.
I really like that look, though. More centering the disc to, I think that was Chandler on 10, and then calling the timeout from the midfield rather than calling it off the pickup. Great recognition there. Get the disc into a good field position so then we can call a timeout, set up a play, rather than having to call that timeout on the sideline. That's, I personally, I think one of the worst times to call it, or worst field positions to call it. So if you can get that first pass off,
Agreed.
then call the timeout, you're looking pretty good.
Well, Ignite's spirit's still high as you all get a dance number in this 70 seconds. They only have about 50 seconds out there before they get kicked off.
Yeah.
They're not very coordinated.
Cleveland kind of doing his own thing on the end there.
Yeah. I mean, he's got better hip movement.
Yeah. Hips don't lie.
And they get kicked off, and Ignite will have about another 15 seconds to set, 20 to set up.
Yeah.
We've seen a few teams caught on not getting organized quick enough, or suddenly the observers are like, hey, freeze.
Yep.
And they're like, ooh, shoot, we are not in the look.
Yeah, was that game green light, red light?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little like that. As soon as the observer says freeze, you cannot move. Curious to see if Dyno sets anything up. They've been putting a lot of pressure. I don't think we've seen too much zone from them. They've been putting some good pressure on Ignite and forcing some errors. So I think they will be coming out in a person set again here.
Telegraphing this a bit. No one's on Moore. Wow, left wide open as no one takes him. Wild.
Miscue on defense. Dyno coach is unhappy about that.
Cameron Untel. Looking for options. There's a violation. Fast count didn't go back down properly. So you see his hands go out, what looked like in frustration, but he was actually signaling a V as the call.
V for violation.
Correct. But one of these signals in the game where it's just like, are you just mad at me or is there a call?
Yeah. If it is a fast count, you do have to drop the count. So if you said, for example, stalling 6, the next number you would have to say is 5. So you do drop the count by a full 2 seconds by doing so. If you don't, violation is called and it comes in on 1.
Golin provided the reset at stall 1, and it gets back to Chandler Nantel into the middle to Moore. Moore has been a shooter, but doesn't need to as he's got a wide open under. Willis over to Chandler Nantel. Too many cooks in the kitchen up the line. Looking to go around to Moore, makes his defender dive, but doesn't get the throw off in time. Moore is going to go around. It's low and it bounces. So there was a pick call in the stack, but it doesn't matter. Dyno staff telling their players, go, 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 go. Umesh Jalith takes off.
That is a big mark on the thrower, though. Tough to get that huck off.
Again, this random chase, calzone, whatever it is.
The
calzone that they're ripping out here in the randomizer. But it seems that Ignite's cup is pretty tired. And Dyno's feeling a little energized. Stokes looking for options. Mullen comes across, uncovered.
Definitely looking a little bit like a double team there again. Nice, not spacing well.
To Stokes. Now Dyno's starting to get some momentum. Can they keep it? They can. McCready out to space. That's out of bounds. And the observers do lines in time. It looks like he tried the toe drag, but the foot hit the blue line just before he got possession. Unfortunate for Dyno as they had momentum.
Yeah. The nice thing about this field is the lines are clearly painted, so easy to see if the foot is on that line.
Oh, this pass misread by Golan, or did the wind catch it? I'm not sure, but Dyno given a gift with a turn on the end zone line. Golan can take his time here with it being in the end zone to collect. Don't need to worry about the delay. Mullen with the jump cut. Was open on some confusion, but Stokes wasn't looking that way. Instead, has Tran. Dyno is going to light it up here with the celebration because they need to keep those spirits up, even though that was the longest hold in the history of Ultimate.
I
The
would
score
say
8-6.
so. That was our second point out of half, and we are 30 minutes out of half now, about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that felt like an eternity.
It really did. Great work, though, by Ignite. What looked like their D2 running out there. And super key in a game like this because now their D1 has rested. So if Ignite can hold here, D1 is fresh.
Speaking of time, do you know when soft cap is? Like the time of day?
105 minutes.
Yeah, that's 3:15. The time is 3 o'clock.
It's coming up.
Yeah, the score is 8-6, and we are 15 minutes from soft.
And this point could be 15 minutes long.
Yeah, with the way things are going, if the randomizer keeps coming out.
Yeah. But we'll see. Ignite did do a good job the last time they were on offense. Just walking down the field, I think it was a clean hold for their own line. So we'll see if they can pull that out again. Dyno.
One fact about that point that, I think another reason Dyno was so psyched about that point is that wasn't their staple O-line. There was no Centeno, no Chua, right? No Velasquez, no Yip.
Those are the times, too, when you have to change it up.
Yeah.
Because they got broke a lot in the first half. Throw something different out there.
Yeah.
See what other players can do.
This ball is going to hold its edge and come back and bounce. Easily fielded by Ignite as they set up in a vertical. No one's on Alexander. Yip tries to catch up, not in time. Alexander's a shooter. He's got a few players going deep. Has the under, didn't for a second, but Tendon makes the play. Mache. Been told to go all around. That's a great around shot low. It picks up to Alexander. Competing for space. Both players blow a tire. Foul call. Ooh, I think
their feet just got a little bit tangled there. Yeah. Again, accidental, but
I don't love this call by Chandler Nantel, though, because he kind of pushed him. So,
it is one of those cases of who actually initiated that foot contact there.
I gotta say it was light. So, foul, no contest, though.
Good spirit from Dyno.
Yeah,
accepting
I feel like Ignite kind of got away with one there, but
they very well may have.
Yeah. Alexander and Yip discussing the count. It's on one. Alexander's stance immediately sideways, indicating I like a dump, please. Instead, has someone off the back of the stack. That's Mache. Throws the inside to Alexander. Knight showing some skill at this game with that throw.
Threatening the break side, but opting to throw it up the open side again.
Same throw back to Alexander, and he'll pivot and throw the big lefty flick around to Jones. Alexander goes over to his check. Yep. The bros making sure we're cool. The score 9-6 for Ignite.
Some effort from the mark there. Laying out, trying to get a hand on that around. But it's really hard coming off the stack there. You're already a step behind as a defense. You do what you can to get over there. Make the throw difficult, but didn't look like the thrower had any issue. And the receiver was wide open in the end zone. Just sitting in space, making for an easy target.
So Chase Alexander and Lael Yip were teammates on the open group for TC. So, they're pretty friendly that way. You see that respect after that point for that. Loach Cleveland also on that team. So the skill is spread around here from our TC players.
And Clay, remind us, how did they do this year?
I believe they achieved just a little medal called gold, actually, defeating the United States.
That was an exciting game.
It feels pretty good to defeat the United States, I tell you.
I believe the Junior Open team has not defeated the United States since 2014, which I was at that game. I was there in Italy, in Lecco, Italy. Just finished playing the States in my own final. Unfortunately, we lost, but got to see Big Sky from Darren Wu to secure the gold medal.
Oh, that was epic. He's playing starting next week. Anyway, back to this game.
Starting tomorrow, Clay.
But tomorrow, you're right. Yeah, seniors start tomorrow. But back to this game, we're seeing the randomizer make another appearance. The big man, Belize, in the front there. But Ignite does have to be conscious of the double team, which they were warned via a TMF earlier.
It is interesting because Dyno plays very close. And so if you're guarding somebody else in the vicinity, it's not a double team. But you do actually have to be
actively
paying
guard.
attention.
You can't just collapse. That was an old league trick that people think you can just collapse on the throw, and that's actually not okay.
Correct. You have to be actively reacting to the other player.
Hearing a fire call, which usually means get into a match defense, but I don't think that's a thing. I think it's a feint. This is the second time we've heard the fire call, and then nothing has happened. It could be a shift in the zone.
Yeah. That might not be their trigger word. They might just be saying that for fun.
Yeah, mess with us. Chow moves that to Velasquez.
Somebody open in the middle there, but still lots of crowding up at the disc. They are still in that zone set. And there is a run through D.
And you see Lois
down the
just
field.
sauntering after the disc. That's legal. That he doesn't have to pick it up. He can let it roll. He's like, ooh, it's rolling my way.
I love the Mac D for field position. Big fan.
I think I love the way he pursued it after.
Yeah, just guarding it.
Yeah, it's like watching his toddler ride a bike. Alexander. With the disc, he'll flip that back to Chandler Natal. Alexander comes around to reset the stall count, looking for the front of the stack. It's not there. Chandler Natal setting up a jump cut. Alexander running out of options until he finds number 7, Justin Doherty.
Loopy pass, but it is reeled in inbounds, but not in the end zone.
And Golan with the collection is going to look to Alexander, running out of time. Foul.
Probably some contact. That is
It
an
looked pretty
aggressive
close.
mark.
Yeah. It's hard as a mark when you're maintaining your disc space, high stall count. The thrower pivots away from you, so you try and jump closer, and then they come back and boop, foul, and you're like,
yeah. And
bad habit.
99.9% of the time, it will be a foul. The only way that is not a foul when there's contact on the thrower is if the mark is completely still, which, let's be honest.
Next to impossible.
Exactly. Looks like they're still talking it out there, probably deciding.
Yeah, I mean, Centeno was jumping, so I think it's safe to say.
Yeah. It is coming on
they
6.
contested, so stalling 5. 6, 7, 8, gets it off. And a great collection by Chandler Natal. He'll go up to Doherty. And the around back end to Alexander. Up break for Ignite. They now lead 10-6. We started the half with 4 breaks for Ignite, 3 for Dyno. Dyno has none this half, and that's 2 more. So it's 6 breaks to 3 for Ignite right now. Commanding lead at 10-6.
Yeah, Ignite was looking pretty chill on their offense there. Comfortable working it around to the home side, back to the away side.
We just got told by observer Nelson that is the second blue card against Ignite for, in this case, the double team. Now, the blue cards aren't attached to particular rules. They are penalties we award, observers award, when rules are violated, and they're in general. So they collect, in this case, the 2 blue cards against Ignite in both instances have been a double team. The third blue card results in favorable field position for your opponent. So Ignite's probably going to have to get a little less random with their zone there.
A little bit more purposeful. Yeah.
The Ottawa crowd on high right now.
Yeah. Lots of energy coming from the stands here. I think they need some energy. They're looking a little bit subdued right now. You can see the sideline doing an offensive chant.
Yeah. But yeah, that's support from the crowd. Like you said, I don't know where we are right now.
Yeah.
Could we be at UPI? I'm not sure. Like, it's just.
No, it's sunny, Clay.
Pardon me?
It's sunny.
Oh, it's sunny. Yeah. Sorry. Couldn't possibly be in Ottawa. The weather's nice.
Yeah.
That pull, laser, will it land inbounds? Yes, it will. It slides, but Dyno picks up right away and centers to Stokes. They do come down in a match defense. No, they don't.
Maybe they do.
It's a slough.
Maybe
It is-
trying to avoid
it is
that
matchy,
blue
but
card.
they're really falling off their checks in order to take the throwing lane off. So this is a double slough defense. They're okay with one side where defenders try a little bit more. That's hand block, but Velasquez is still able to get the throw from Stokes.
The
Velasquez puts it up high, and great presence of mind from the 2-8.
The Ignite
Connor
marks-
Rycroft. I think Stokes got hurt there. I think there was contact after the fact. I'm not sure if he thinks it's a foul. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I wouldn't advise against this. Stokes just had his shoulder dislocated, and Velasquez just put it back. The kids say that's hard. That's no call. Didn't expect to get that on tape.
No.
Damn, Stokes. I think he just mogged all of us in toughness. That was crazy.
Yeah. Would not advise you to try this at home.
Alexander. Out to Tenden. He has a free reset to Moore. Alexander wants it back to space, but Tenden kind of came across. That meant the throw to Alexander to go farther. Probably should have bolstered that one. Dyno in their end zone against the slough. You can see the defenders trying to get in the throwing lane. Once again, okay with the laterals. I mean, that's the theme, right, Wage? It's okay. Ignite's okay with lateral passes right now.
Yeah, you'll notice their marks are super flat. I think our threatened by Dyno's deep game. They were showing it earlier, whereas now Ignite flat on the mark, taking that away as much as possible, sloughing off of the other handlers.
Postmito's pass was a little bit behind Logan Poon, so as he turns around, it just bounces out of his fingers. He's unable to get the full mitts on it. Alexander pivoting immediately, looking for the around. Foul called against Mullen as these two, him and Moore, competing for position, and Moore saying, hey, I think you hindered me in an illegal fashion.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, though. Oh.
Apparently, Moore is very correct, as a blue card is awarded to Dyno via Mullen.
Yeah.
So Alexander.
Yeah, defenders do have to get to the space first. You can't initiate that contact.
Up in that pivot. Was Rycroft with the D earlier, who sets the reset. Alexander gets it back. Out to the break side to Moore. Moore is going to look to Alexander. It's not there up the line. Instead, they go inside and reeled in by Sammy Tenden. So he gets some redemption from a throw earlier to get it through traffic. That's another break. 11-6 Ignite. Ignite running away with it. And thanks for pointing that out, Wade, showing me your watch. We are 2.5 minutes away from the soft cap. When it happens, we'll tell you what this game will be to. Likely, well, I'm going to say now it's going to be either a game to 12 or 13. Dyno takes a timeout, so almost certainly cap will come on after this point with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So, game to 12 or 13. Let's see what we get, everybody. But, yeah, no more than 13, I'd say, at this point.
I think that's pretty safe to say.
Well, both teams probably appreciating this timeout. Excessive contact was the blue card. Thank you, observers, for once again informing us of what's happening. So,
yeah, and obviously both teams really want this defense, trying to do all they can to protect that open side. But observers are here also too to make sure the players are being safe. So excessive contact, not a part of the sport. Overall, though, I think it's been a pretty clean game.
I think so. The contact has never been in bad faith, we'll say.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been players competing for places and then being reminded, hey, you actually can't do that.
Yeah.
I think the double team needs to get reeled in a little bit by Ignite here.
Totally.
But no contact in this game has been, you know, no, bro, you're soft. Like, there's been none of that.
Nothing's been excessive. There has been, yeah, a little bit of tangling of cleats, a little bit of battling in the air. A lot of discussions being resolved relatively quickly, though, as well, just to get that play going again.
I would say Ignite, I mean, firmly in the driver's seat in score, but also field position. Because with soft going on with the win the way it is, I mean, this is the direction Ignite is defending right now is the hard side to score on this game. So if Dyno does get the hold here as we move into soft cap after this point.
I mean, Clay, you say that, but
Yeah.
they have been scoring upwind.
Yes. Did I just curse Ignite? I mean, if they lose, they'll look back at when I said that and then hate me forever.
Yeah,
So,
we'll know who to blame.
yeah, exactly. This pull on side and will land in bounds. Fielded by Chow. Match defense here from Ignite. Perhaps electing not to take the risk of getting that blue card from the double team in their randomizer at this stage in the game. Chua. Able to contain. Yip takes off. No options for Mullen, though. Lockdown D until Chua is able to recover from that trip. He doesn't like the huck and instead goes around to Mullen. Yip comes all the way back. Centeno calling to Leo for the pass. Has Stokes. Stokes is going to take off. That is not coming back in. So our observers here are going to come drop a beanbag on the sideline to show where the disc went out. 20 seconds to collect this and get back. I don't know if Cleveland is aware of where the disc is coming back in. So he's going to have to hustle it. But injury called by
Stokes?
Yeah, no, 31. That's Stokes. Oh, Stokes, you said. My bad. Yes, thank you.
Worries.
Yeah. Stokes cramping or hurt, I'm not sure. Dude has been putting in work. Let's hope it's not his shoulder. You know, the substitute is going to have to go back to wherever wherever Stokes went down. But the observers here are able to show everybody the positions. He certainly won't be on the mark.
The Ignite coach taking the moment to talk to the thrower here while there's a stoppage, taking advantage of the pause on the field.
We have to wait for him to tap the disc on the ground. Everybody's got to be set. I heard Chase Alexander got subbed in. I'm not sure for who, but Ignite did elect to take a sub and put Chase back in the game. Okay, here we go. Disc coming up to the orange beanbag. Ignite's gonna huck, and it's not what they wanted, but it worked. So Alexander now with the disc. Good heads up play there by Willis. Goulin goes around to Doherty. To Jones. Jones throws the fake, doesn't like it, instead has the free around. Over to Alexander. That is the soft cap horn that just went. So we'll figure that out after this point. Count getting high for Alexander. Jones with the spin move. He keeps it in bounds. 5 yards out. Alexander setting up in the ISO. He's there for the around, and Alexander with the quick IO for the goal. Back to Jones. What a sick sequence of moves there by those two. The score, 12-6, and that's a break for Ignite.
Yeah.
Game to 13.
That huck, definitely not the execution he was looking for, but we have a saying on traffic that is, a positive's a positive. This was alive still, and Ignite able to convert.
Oh, man, like, okay. Dyno in trouble, obviously. Dyno has not had a break since scoring 4. While Ignite has scored no breaks before that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 unanswered breaks, shifting to 8 unanswered breaks.
Yeah,
from one team to the other.
Definitely in control of this game and has been for a while.
For a while.
Yeah. Dyno just really struggling to get the disc downfield. We saw some hucks early on. They haven't been able to reel them in since early in the game, but they're also struggling just to get the disc downfield in general. We've seen them playing in their own half for the majority of this game. Again, Ignite, they're fine to let Dyno pass laterally all that they want. I'm curious, with Dyno running quite a vert offense, it should be opening up those lateral passes. I don't know if the timing's just not there, if Ignite's defense is just really that good.
Chow. Super tree play to Velasquez. Pick called, as I think Velasquez was
Yeah, it looks like they're signaling the disc will stay where it is. Defenders
Yeah.
just trying to catch up the position
yeah,
that they
after,
lost on
after
the
those
pick.
first few steps.
Yeah, I think that's a fair resolution.
Yeah, Cleveland was cut off by the number 2 in the position there. In the horizontal, that is. Velasquez is looking for Centeno. He's got a few jukes, but it's not there. Instead, it goes to Chow. Dyno needs to remember they don't need to press the issue with time here. They need to value, because now this is all about retention and generating turnovers against Ignite.
There is
no hard cap.
Exactly, Clay.
Stokes comes back on, pushing through. Banged up body here as he's throwing some fakes, running out of time. He's going to find Chua with the jab step. Chua throws up high. The wind catches it. Velasquez thought he had the read, but it sailed, and it is Cleveland who has been deadly in this game to get the disc. Moore now looking for options. Has Alexander under. Alexander looking. No up line. Instead, it is Moore who will come back around. Off the front of the stack, Chandler Nautel, it's not, or Willis, excuse me, it's not there. Jones coming back to help. He'll throw up the line, it's too low to Moore. He'll want that one back.
Dyno's still alive here.
Yeah, and certainly not at a moment where Jones has to panic. I mean, if Dyno goes on a run here, he'll remember that, but maybe not. They certainly have the momentum.
This is where we say,
The
get your
Ignite,
money back,
that
play
is.
some defense,
Yeah.
earn the disc.
Get your money back. Randomizer's like a slot machine. I'm into this. Mullen. Marked by Moore. Chua with the fake back is able to scoop his check up the line. Oh, just short of Moore. Hits the dirt safely. That pass is also complete. Dyno doesn't elect a huck, valuing the disc here as their huck earlier went awry. Mullen now finds Chow. Velasquez is going to take off, but there's a call, so that disc is going to go back. Sorry.
I didn't see that call.
No,
I thought that was a very interesting choice of throw there.
I thought that was the most frustrated dump I had ever seen. That was, yeah, I'm done with this here. All right, Mullen. Chua with the step-up line to get it back. He throws the fake and wants to get it back to the middle. Centeno's like, please throw to me, but it's not there. Stokes is able to muscle Jones out of the way. Gets it to Velasquez. Chua around the Centeno. A fire call from Ignite sideline, so that's certainly a shift into whatever they're doing now. Willis.
Again, Dyno not really looking
Centeno.
downfield. Cutters are working. They feel like they're open, but not getting the disc. Though I do see cutters cutting to the same space, kind of cutting each other off.
Yeah, I think we're seeing some mental fatigue of whose turn it is. That timing's falling off. Timing is hard to maintain when 1 or 2 players get tired,
Yes.
right? Because then some things suddenly aren't happening. That's a 3rd TMF against Ignite. I don't know what that was for. Troy's going to tell us in a minute. Thank you, Troy. But it is the 3rd blue card against Ignite. So they are awarded a favorable field position to take it at the brick and set up as it. Are we live, or does the offense get to set first, Troy?
Yeah, you'll notice Dyno setting up in a bit of a spread.
So it's like a timeout.
Here.
The offense is going to set, and then defense will get to set up after. Yeah. Not sure what the blue card was for. I'm going to imagine that was excessive contact.
I'm sure the observers will let us know.
Yeah. Troy will let us know. He's so on top of it. Yeah. Chua over to Centeno. Centeno over to Stokes, who gets it right back.
Dyno electing to work it through their handlers here. Downfield, they're just staying out of the way.
A little bit of dominator work sometimes when the rest of your team's tired. We're talking about that stack was having timing problems. Let's put it on the handlers. That pass around to Chow. Opens up some field, but Ignite keeping up here, still showing the wheels. Chua, scooper over the top to Velasquez. He keeps his feet in. Centeno and Chua trying to get open. Chua does back. He'll go over the top to Velasquez, who does keep his feet in. And foul called by Mullen as he's knocked down. No contest, just needed to be able to get back up after he was hit. No contests. is coming on 0. It was a defensive foul, so the count will reset either way.
Ignite is starting to wrap their marks a little bit more now that they're in their own half of the field. And enough pressure to force a thrower error.
That OI break when the wind was facing the underside of the disc is very hard to execute.
That was not the choice.
No.
I think an open side backhand would have sufficed in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, that could be fatigue.
Mental fatigue.
So Jones working hard to get the reset. He goes around to Alexander, whose hands have been great. He winds up to Huck, that big lefty backhand. Instead has the inside break. I think it was McCready got a hand on that, but it is reeled in by Cleveland. Moore has Alexander. Velasquez looked like he took the line, but Alexander turned on the Jets. Chandler Nuntel looking for an option, wants a cut, doesn't really have anything, so Alexander will set up in the ISO. The round is there, put out to space for Alexander. Timeout taken by Alexander. That is the final timeout this half for Ignite. This game for Ignite. Once again, this is a game to 13. The score is 12-6. Ignite in the red zone here. So can they set it up to win? I mean, I think Wage, I'm looking at both teams, and when it comes to gas in the tank, it's all Ignite right now.
Yeah, I would agree. They've got gas physically. I think mentally, they do just seem in it a little bit more. Dyno just seems like that step behind right now, and they haven't been able to get it back. They had some really good rhythm at the beginning of the game, going up right away with 3 breaks. As soon as Ignite got their break back, Dyno just did not find the rhythm again, and I don't think they've been able to adjust to that randomizer zone. To be fair, hard to adjust to something that's random.
That is true.
Just not able to find space on the field, not able to time it well downfield for their throwers.
So that really has gotten in Dyno's offensive way, as they've kind of relied on that tight timing to run and gun teams. Ignite, though, able to ignite that fuel.
Yeah,
and what's fuel made out of? Fossils, dinosaurs. I'm sorry. Did you follow me on that?
There is.
I just don't know where you're going with it.
Gas, fuel, fossil fuels, dinosaurs.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Dyno spelled with a Y. I didn't make that connection. That's on me, Clay. I'm so sorry.
Up high, fielded by Cleveland. Over to Jones. He flips that back to Chandler Nuntel. Goes around to the front corner to Moore. That's in. That's the game. Ignite from Ottawa, your 2026 champions. Finally getting that win over the Vancouver Crew. Playing in finals after a 2-year hiatus, winning the rematch from 2024.
And you talked earlier about that little rivalry between Alex Lamb and
Habib Attal, yeah.
Medal ceremony will take
And
we finally getting his money back here with an Ottawa win.
yeah.
women's final is scheduled.
The story of that game, I mean, Dyno went up three or four breaks at the 3 breaks at the beginning of the game, and then had none for the rest of the game, while Ignite came out after that with a 9.
Yeah.
So a definite game of a momentum shift towards the Ignite crew.
Also really well done for Ignite too, coming out of half, because it's hard to keep that momentum. Half is just a reset for both teams, so I wouldn't have been surprised if Dyno was able to come out and turn it around.
Yeah.
But nope, Ignite just did not let up there. I saw Junior out there with the Ignite crew too. They're sizable monkey.
Yes, Junior made it out there.
Yeah, still yet to have eyes on Junior.
Well, congratulations to Ottawa's Ignite, your Junior Open champions in the 2026 Canadian Ultimate Championships. We're going to hop off the stream here so we can take a break. Soon after our medal ceremonies, we will be beginning the women's final in the match between Toro from Toronto and Dyno's sister team, Dyno from Vancouver. Thanks for joining us. I'm Clayton Howlett here with Brianne Wager. We'll be back in a bit.
Give it to him.